All right, we're going to attempt to do the board meeting. I've been having a lot of trouble with the sound on my computer lately. I've been playing with it. Oh, Jesus. Pootie's funny. Pooties. Hold on, let me show you what he just sent me here. Where is it? No, Pootie. Here, look. Right there. Trying to trap an alligator. Just leave it alone, it will go away. Now they got it. Good going, Pootie. Oh, hopefully it'll be okay. It won't kill it.
Day when people are asked to leave their cars at home. So it was referenced on the media.
All right, before we get into this, they didn't broadcast this live for some unknown reason, and they didn't post it until now. I mean, this is like a week later. They've decided to post it. So I don't know what the problem was or why they didn't broadcast it or why they took so long to put it up. I don't know what they're up to. Who knows with them? I mean, they just do what they want. But let's get a little bit. Let's see, 7 o'clock. Let's do a little bit of this today.
We had a cameraman on the blue line for Max. That was interesting. Welcome to the TriMet Board of Directors meeting and briefing. It's our meeting of September 22nd, 2021, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. We're going to start this morning with a public forum, and this is our open opportunity for the community members to share their thoughts and concerns and ideas about TriMet and our service. If anyone...
Your service is shit, okay? Sorry, listen to the scanner. Look at my feed. Look at Rippy's feed. Look at my blog. Go outside of your little box and see what's really going on, and you will see your service is totally shit.
For watching today has issues that are not within the jurisdiction of the board. TriMet staff is here to listen to your concerns and will follow up and answer your questions. Those who are signed up prior to the opening of the public hearing, and the comments will be taken in the order in which you have signed up. Written comments already received online or through the mail have already been shared with the board. Usually we allow 45 minutes for the public forum, and the individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. If anyone wanting to provide public comment today wishes to share additional information after the 3 minutes, you can send it to the board via email to boardtestimony@trimet.org. So with that, let me begin by calling those who have signed up. And
let's see if we got anybody good.
Kimberly, I'm having trouble seeing anyone who has... see.
Oh, actually, Linda, sorry, I apologize for that. So I have moved Craig Thomas to the speaker window, and I am, Thomas Craig to the speaker window, and I'm going to unmute his microphone.
Very good. Thank you so much. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Kimberly, Director Simmons and Kimberly. And yes, I have 2 first names, so no worries on the mix-up there. Hello, my name is Thomas Craig, lifelong Portlander and member of the Opal Bus Riders Unite Transit Riders Union. I have 2 comments today. First, I wanted to note, again, our request that, if possible, it would be great for the TriMet board meeting agenda resources to be posted to the TriMet website a bit earlier. Specifically, the Thursday before the meeting would be great for us, but in general, having a little bit more time to...
Yeah, they post it like a day or two ahead. They wait until, this is a top secret agency there. They function like the CIA. They don't really want anybody knowing what's going on. We know that.
See the exact upcoming topics would help us and other advocates make sure we can provide you with timely and well thought out testimony. Secondly, I'm looking forward to the update in today's meeting on the Reimagining Public Safety program. I would like to see TriMet take a leadership role regionally in pursuing new visions of public safety actively and aggressively. Portland and some other regional leaders are currently falling backwards on this subject after some modest improvements last year.
Correct.
The Portland Police Bureau work slowdown, in which the Bureau has refused to follow through with its assigned responsibilities in recent months, while claiming that the resources are too few to support that work, has led to some on the City Council considering increases in the police budget, exactly the wrong direction. Even if we accept that the police force should exist, which I and many others don't, from a practical perspective, both locally and nationally, our society has allowed an...
No, we do need police. Let's make that clear. The society does need police because there are violent people in the culture. But what we don't need from police is a bunch of thugs enforcing fares, enforcing minor rule violations. TriMet had promised what do they call it, an emergency team of some sort, a crisis team to deal with people that are in crisis. But it never happened. I knew it was a lie when Kelsey talked about it. Just all talk. All of these people are just talk.
Encourage a radical scope creep among police bureaus, creating organizations that cannot possibly be managed effectively due to the diversity of their unrelated responsibilities. TriMet can tactfully and effectively push back against this trend by taking the reimagining of public safety seriously and finding new institutions and new processes outside of the police and sheriff's offices to support public safety within our region. I encourage you to think radically and creatively. Don't just remake the same public safety system on our transit network. Please fully reimagine it. Thanks, and have a great day.
Well, that's a nice testimony, of course. I totally agree. But after years and years of watching these testimonies, I know they don't mean anything to them. They do the testimony because they're legally required to do it.
Thank you, Thomas. I think if you would watch our website, we've made a change in when we make the board agenda available, both the board members and the community. And so I believe it's posted on the website beginning on Wednesday, the Wednesday before our board.
Oh, yeah, well, that's no,
do follow up.
Well, I'll be watching for that. I'm going to look. I will. So I'll quote you if it's not there.
On that and check on that. Thank you.
Thanks. I didn't see it. It has sorry to keep talking if that's inappropriate, but I'm wondering, has the URL changed? Because I didn't see that on the site last week. I'm not sure if I missed something.
This was the first time that we have made the information available on Wednesday, and so I'll double check with staff to make sure that it gets on the website as well as.
See this Kimberly down here? I sued McFarland and she showed up. Completely ruined my desire to proceed. And then I lost! And then I had to pay McFarland a fucking motherfucker. I had to pay him a check. I actually handed him the check at one of the board meetings. But I got it back and more after my lawsuit for unethical violations of the Unfair Labor Act. That son of a bitch, I hate him.
Board members. If it wasn't there, maybe it just didn't.
If I had only sued him for $700 or less, he would have had to show up, and I blew it. And, you can't go, once you go, you can't go back because then it becomes, what do you call harassment by court or something. You can't, I was not dumb enough to fall for the trap. They're always setting traps. But I'm smart. I'm smarter than I appear, people. I've been at this a long time.
didn't happen just yet.
Look, it's blinking.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And Kimberly, the next person.
Yes, next we have Kathleen Brown. Kathleen, your microphone is unmuted now.
Hi. I just wanted to speak on behalf of my cousin, Jesse Russell. He rides TriMet Lyft. He was not able to attend because he had work today. He has been left at church for 2 hours.
Yep.
Waiting for Broadway cabs by TriMet on a regular basis. And he's been late for work an hour and a half consistently. And also 2 hours late going home on 30-minute windows that aren't being provided. The Broadway cab is failing, and it's really bad. I mean, he's completely blind, and he's being abandoned.
That is called a miserable failure of a transit system. Okay? And this is, you know, they hurt so many people every day. You can't even, unless you're listening to the operation like we do, you would never know it. They're actually hurting people. Their operation is so sketchy. I would not recommend anybody rely on this system if you don't have to at this point. Do not take TriMet. Well,
so what I want to say is that I'm hoping that somebody could look into this, please, and find out why his rides are consistently late with the cab, or maybe reopen some buses out there and get him on a bus, because at least the bus has a 30-minute window and he knows he can expect that bus to come.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's...
Yeah, the service is completely ruined. They don't have drivers. They're not raising pay. They're not doing anything about their driver shortage. And this is happening all across the country. What you're having here, and people don't understand what's going on. They're deliberately destroying civil society. Okay, I'm sure that this is deliberate action on the part of the oligarchs, because they haven't sweetened the deal for any of the operations. They haven't said they'll pay you more, we'll give you nothing. So they know there's a problem, and they're doing nothing about it, which only leads you to believe that it's intentional. There's no other conclusion to come to. When they know there's a problem and they've done nothing, absolutely nothing to change the situation, we know it's intentional. If you read that article in your Oregonian, you knew that was full of falsehoods, lies, and contradictions. It was one of the worst pieces of journalism I've ever read. It was not even written it seemed like it was written by some junior high school person. But it was actually written by somebody who went to college, and it was edited by an editor, and they still produced this garbage article about the driver shortage. So they know there's a shortage, and they're doing nothing about it. So I say it's intentional. These oligarchs are destroying civil society on purpose, just like they destroyed the economy. We are under attack, okay? We the people are under attack right now. And so many people are blind. They're hysterical about the vaccines. Everybody's gone out of their minds. And it's just so sad to watch the destruction of our society. It's just so sad.
He asked me to speak for him today. He's pretty upset about it.
Yeah, you should be.
If it wasn't happening consistently, I wouldn't be talking to you today, losing a day of work.
Kathleen, this is...
I like it that Simmons is addressing these people, okay? Now, Warner never did that. No, occasionally he did. Not very often. Simmons is actually addressing these people, which is an interesting change.
Something we would want to follow up with. Could you send information on the location and everything to this website so staff can follow up on it? It's all one word, board testimony at trimet.org. His name, location, what he's trying to accomplish, and we'll see what we can do to get this resolved.
All right, Linda, that's two things I'm tracking, okay? Okay. Yeah, so far I like her. Okay. Just, she just started, but so far she's getting an A from me.
I appreciate it. It's terrible. 2 hours in the heat and in the rain.
Not good. Yes.
No. And he's vulnerable. on top
we might get better, women are more sensitive to these kind of things than men. There's no doubt about that. As long as you're not like a Hillary Clinton. As long as you're not a psychopath, women are generally more sensitive to these kind of problems than men. Men are pretty hardened, and they're emotionally shut down. Women, generally speaking, it's been my experience, are much more sensitive to these kind of problems.
Top of that, I mean, he's not. He can he's very independent, but he's still vulnerable.
Yeah. Good for you to bring this to the board.
Thank you for bringing this to
Yeah, this is what you do. You bring it to the board. Put it in their lap. Now, I don't know. You got to come back, though, you see. If they don't do what they say, you got to come back and bring it back to them. One of the best testimonies I've ever seen was Eric Halstead nailing Neil McFarlane on his trouble with his kids being left behind.
And thank you. And then the next speaker has another situation that happened that is actually, she's testifying a witness on a situation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Oh, I want to mention, though, everybody, all you bus drivers who've been driving throughout this whole pandemic, you're about to get the same treatment as the healthcare workers and the teachers. You've driven this whole time, over 2 years, unvaccinated. You were driving before there even was a vaccination. And they're going to do the same thing to you that they're doing to all of the other professionals. They're going to make you get that shot whether you like it or not, even though you've survived this long. So be prepared. The essential workers are no longer essential, apparently. And I have my own feelings about what's really happening here. This got nothing to do. This is about oligarchy taking control of making you submit to orders because they're conditioning you to submit to their authority. And people don't see it that way because they've been psyoped. And unfortunately, people that are usually rational thinking people have completely lost the ability to think rationally with all of this.
Kimberly, the next person.
We're going, Linda, get back there.
Next.
The next person is Erica Daniels, and her microphone is now unmuted.
Hi, I'm here to talk about kind of the same situation with TriMet Lyft with Broadway cabs. They sent us a cab one night.
Broadway cab was, when I was living in Portland, they were always bad. You call them and an hour later they would show up if you were lucky. They were just always. And you take a look at the TriMet checkbook on my website. They fucking make a fortune from TriMet. It must be $20 million a year in Lyft rides. And they're horrible.
For me, and I had a person with me, a PCA with me, and they sent us a Broadway cab. And then they had this other person that we were just talking about, Jesse Russell, who was supposed to be riding the same cab with us, and there was only 2 seats in the cab other than the driver's seat. So we were like, where's he supposed to sit? They had a wheelchair in there. They're like, you can sit in the wheelchair if you want. And he was like, no. And he's going separate places. We were going to Northeast Portland, and he was going to, like, Southwest, almost to Beaverton or somewhere like that. And they were going to send us in the same Broadway cab to go 2 different places at the same time, which made no sense. Yeah.
Well, that's just a...
That's what we've been
That's just a normal snafu.
dealing with, along with having to wait sometimes 2 hours for our Broadway cabs to show up. Sometimes I had a ride one time. Our pickup was between 3:30 and 4. They picked us up at 5:30.
Yeah. Now that is really despicable. And I don't know if TransDev has taken over yet. I think they have. So if TransDev has taken over, so they've done no improvements, this is as bad as it was under First Transit.
To be there at 5. We had a scheduled appointment time at 5 p.m. and we got picked up at 5:35 to be where we needed to be.
At 5.
From the Broadway cab.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing to our attention. And like I said, Lee, if you would like to provide more detail, please send it to the board testimony at trimet.org so we can follow up on these specific incidences.
Totally. Cool.
Well, they told you about it, so you do something about
Thank
it.
you.
Kim, has anyone else signed up?
No, I do not have any more hands raised today.
No, nobody else. No Opal. I'll go low.
Well, then, since
We're the only two. So we need to send a new email to them. Is that what they were saying to do? Do you remember the date? Which one?
Kim, I think that
Oh, yeah, did I mention? I don't know. My mind is not what it used to be. They're all sitting at home, by the way, while you're all out in the field. You know, the vaccine is safe and effective, but not safe and effective enough for this bunch of people, all the elites. Every one of these people you see in the screen here are elites. Elites are people that are not, they have jobs that are elite jobs. They're not blue-collar jobs. They're all at home. The vaccines are safe and effective. Apparently not safe and effective enough for the elites. So remember that, okay? There's your actual example of how they don't even believe it themselves, or they would be having a regular board meeting, but they don't believe it either. Just like I don't believe it. I don't believe the vaccines are safe or effective. Just make sure you know that. I think it was just a way to get people to go back to work. And they agree with me because they're not back at work.
Can you mute us, please?
still logged in.
I'm on mute.
There you are. All right, since that appears to be the last speaker for this morning, I'm going to close it.
Speaking.
Huh?
Pardon me?
Okay.
I'm going to close the public comment portion and open the business meeting.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
I don't want to mute these things. Sorry.
Oh, Kimberly, are you able to unmute?
There we go. I did it.
Great. Super. Thank you. So I'm going to now officially open the September 22, 2021 business meeting of the TriMet Board of Directors. And we will begin with board reports. And I'd like to, I'd like to first invite Director Edwards to provide an update from the Committee on Accessible Transportation.
He's a little bit confused. The leader in technology, folks. You'd think by now, okay, how long have they been doing? You think by now they would have figured out how to make this run smoothly. Apparently they haven't. Jesus.
Director Ed, there.
Here you go. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, the CAP meeting was well attended the other day.
In person?
We discussed, of course, many important issues as always. It was a full agenda.
Was it in person?
Chair Jan Campbell opened the meeting with the usual order of business. We were met with the news of Angel James that will be leaving TriMet.
Whoever that
and
is.
she's going to work for the city of Portland. So we had mixed emotions about that. We will miss her.
Bureaucrats, musical chairs, you know, they move around from one bureaucracy to the other. You know, the elites get to have that option.
And we are wishing her well.
And who is that? We don't even know who that is.
The CAT member and public comment concerns were raised regarding continuity of service during severe weather events in the summer and winter, just as we've heard today through public testimony. It was mentioned that TriMet should function during severe weather events in the summer as Phoenix, Arizona. Mass transit functions in severe heat. Broadway Cab has had some inconsistencies in their service. Again, as was mentioned today, the Lyft dispatch has become more efficient, contrary to what we heard today. Pat Williams gave a comprehensive report on the status of safety and security. He also discussed the CPTED, which is the crime prevention through environmental design, the concept that's being embraced in the reimagined safety and security development. Mike Pullen from Multnomah County shared the timeline and phases of the Burnside Bridge project. He gave a report detailing the current progress in the planning stage. The design phase will be followed by the building phase. The county is listening to the concerns of the public and CAT members, so we really appreciate that. More specific concerns were raised regarding the access and egress regarding the stairs, ramps, sidewalks, improvements, and elevators.
Sure. Who the hell?
Concern was raised regarding the moving the westbound bus stop from 1st to 2nd Avenue because there's some issues around sidewalk improvements that need to be made to facilitate folks that have disabilities in order for them to get on and off the bus to be able to access and egress. But
we were in technology.
I don't know what happened there.
You're getting feedback.
Eileen Collins gave a call center report. It was a comprehensive report and captured by recent activity. Broadway Cab was in attendance, and that was good because he was able to hear some of the concerns and issues that are affecting folks with disability. And he explained that their procedure regarding customer companion animals, because that was an issue that was raised as well. Ms. Collins explained the policy should not adversely affect those with service or companion animals. And that completes my report.
Oh, great report. I couldn't understand a word you said.
Thank you, Director Edwards. And does anyone have any questions about the Committee on Accessible Transportation? And I'm sorry for that mic feedback. We're working through obviously some technical difficulties this morning.
Because it's the leader of technology.
No questions?
I don't hear any questions. And
Okay.
so thank you, Director Edwards. So now we're going to move on to an update this morning from Finance and Audit Committee.
Finance? Let's see what they got.
From Board Vice President Lori Irishfeld.
Lori Irish.
Lori?
She's Irish from Ireland.
Yes, good morning, everyone. The Finance and Audit Committee met this morning before the board meeting, and there are 3 items to cover.
They put them up.
Okay. Can you hear me? I apologize. I was muted.
Leader in technology, folks.
Good morning. Thank you. The Finance and Audit Committee met this morning, and there are 3 issues.
Elizabeth, how much time we got here?
That I'd like to cover. The first is, as the board has been advised, TriMet is preparing to go to market with 2 bond issues.
What?
One is a payroll tax revenue bond that's going to provide funding for a number of projects in the amount of about $200 million.
More fucking goddamn capital, $200 million for more. They're going to bond it. Oh, you know what a bond is, right? They take a loan from a bank, Goldman Sachs, against future payroll receipts. And they give that money to their crony capitalist construction contractors. So now what the fuck are they doing? It's unbelievable.
For the Red Line project and light rail vehicle replacements and other additional capital projects. And the second is...
Yeah. Look, man, unbelievable. So they're going to bond this shit? I thought they had the money already for that.
Refunding.
I know the Feds just gave them $100 million. Why are they going to bond for $200 million? See, this is a criminal organization, folks. I mean, they just can create money whenever they want, stick the taxpayers with the burden. They don't ask you about any of this. They've just decided we're going to go out and get $200 million in bonds.
As a refunding series. Because of conditions in the market, that refunding will save the agency about $21.5 million.
What?
And so it was, made great economic sense to go ahead and do that. Refunding at this time.
Refunding what?
Significantly, both of these bond issues are going to go to the market as sustainability bonds, and that means that they are designed to pursue environmentally friendly projects.
Yeah, that's the new Agenda 21 buzzword, sustainability. Sustainability. It's all garbage, all garbage.
And this label is expected to drive interest in the bonds and help lower the interest rate.
Because it says the word sustainable.
The board members have received their preliminary official statement that's going to accompany those bonds.
Look at this picture. Who's this?
Bond issues will take place the first week of October. We next heard a report on...
Oh, so they're going to take place right now. So they're discussing it a week before they're going to issue it. Wow.
The Moss Adams audit. These are the financial... the audited...
Well, Moss Adams does their audit every year, and every year it comes out. AAA, you're great, TriMet. Every year, same thing. You're great, you're great, you're great, you're great.
Financial statements have been completed. And we heard a very positive report that the audit was completed early. It was completed early in order to accompany the bonds that I just described. And so we heard from the auditors that, as consistently with past reports, they received a very high-quality product from the TriMet team. The auditors were very complimentary of the process and procedure.
Every year it's the same story.
Of the accounting team. They found no instances of noncompliance with the grant requirements. They issued an unmodified opinion. All financial statements fairly are presented in all respects. They told us that while COVID has disrupted the audit process at many public agencies, at TriMet, not only was there no delay, in fact, the auditing was completed early. The auditors made a couple of recommendations, and we'll be hearing more about that later in today's meeting. The third item that the Finance and Audit Committee heard about today was that we have gotten indications that the 3 rating agencies will continue to provide a AAA rating to TriMet, and that is good news indeed. It will, again, help our position as we go to the market.
Go to the market, get the money, man. They print the money, they give you the money.
And that is, those are the 3 items we had today, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have a question about the Finance and Audit Report?
No.
Well, thank you, Lori. Hearing none, we'll move on then to, I'll now ask Director Thomas Kim to provide the report on the Metro Policy Advisory Committee.
Metro Policy Advisory?
Linda, if it's okay, may I go a little bit later? I'm having a technical difficulty accessing opening the PDF.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in technology, Rippy.
So we'll come back to you then. So Director Way is unable to be with us today.
Okay.
And normally she would present the report on the Transit Equity Advisory Committee, but presenting for her today is John Gardner. John, are you available?
I am, and good morning, President Simmons. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, we are very lucky and fortunate. We've had great TIAC members all throughout the summer who've been using the online forum. And we actually had a good
Gardner.
We heard from staff about the Division Transit Project and the Division of Possibilities campaign and all the work the team has been doing to highlight businesses along the corridor to help them maintain a business trip.
Yeah, pork barrel report, something TriMet shouldn't be involved in, but that's their main thing.
We learned about the new low-income fare access point. The Pioneer Courthouse Square is allowing for registration and sign-up where people can actually get their Lyft cards and printed that day, and it takes about 10 minutes to register, so that's excellent news. We also had an update around our digital information displays that are being put across the bus system where people can see in real time their arrival of their buses. So people are excited about that. And we received an update on our electric vehicle pilot, which is on track, and we're getting, I think, the last of the 5 buses in the next few weeks or so. So that was good news to hear. And then the TIAC heard about the Lyft OHSU partnership, which is providing free trips from OHSU to the residences for folks based on the COVID surge and not having enough room at the hospital. So we're just piloting to get people home safely through that. And finally, we work with our TIAC members to share the news that we are hiring, and many of them have workforce and training programs themselves, so we're hoping to partner with them so they get the word out to help us continue to staff up. Then we had a breakout work session where TIAC really talked about going beyond its current portfolio of efforts beyond Title VI, workforce diversity and construction and the service planning, and wants to work a little bit more in the areas of, as you heard with Kat, implement weather policy for TriMet to make sure our approach and our language and our communication is as strong as it can be when we have serious weather incidents, as well as the regional tolling.
Is anybody able to follow him? I'm not. I mean, he's talking so fast and there's nothing, look, there's nothing, they're not looking, they're just showing us this agenda. I can't understand a word he's saying.
Conversation, and just to make sure they are understanding what's happening with I-205 and potentially I-5, so we're going to be asking people to come to a future TIAC meeting.
What?
I mean, just generally our community engagement approaches and what we can do and how they can help. So we're going to be building that out with the next few meetings, so we're pretty excited. Finally, we had April Bertelstein from the City of Portland talk about an upcoming open house for the city's 122nd Avenue plan, and that they're going to be asking TIAC to share a survey and invite their community. So overall, it was a really good conversation, great participation, and great feedback. So I can answer any questions.
That was bullshit. I'm not a big fan of this guy. Not at all.
Thank you. Are there any questions for John?
Let's look at that one
his report? I don't hear any. John, thank you so much. That was a really good, thorough report.
Yeah, you can understand what you're talking
Kim,
about.
Are you able to provide the report now on the Metro Policy Advisory Committee?
My apologies, President Linda. I will, not quite yet, Linda.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, how about if we come back to you after the general manager's report? How's that? Will that work for you, Director Kim?
Yes, it will.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I'll turn.
Okay, in 2019, John Gargan made $143,659. I'm sure he's worth every penny. So now he's higher than that. He's probably $160,000 by now. We're waste.
For his monthly report, Sam.
Oh.
Good morning, President.
Wait a minute. I'm going to stop there. I want to do the general manager itself by itself. Oh, that's enough for today. Signing off. Bye.